Each week on the Money Questions Answered video, I take questions that I've received from my Maya on Money newsletter subscribers, and I answer them in this space. So if you have a question, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, and who knows, I may be answering your question in this space. This week, I took a question from Lloyd because this really irks me. It's around balloon payments and dealers and unethical behavior, should I say, by dealers. So this is what Lloyd wrote. I recently bought a vehicle, and during my agreement with the dealer, I told them upfront that a balloon payment is a no-go. I received my statement from the bank, and it shows a balloon payment on the statement. I've had many arguments with the dealer, which is a pain. They're only happy that the car has been sold. I need some advice on how to cater for this balloon payment or approach the bank to add it to my installment each month. So Lloyd, we actually covered this in a podcast a couple of months ago with some finance expert from ABSA around this exact situation. What if I want to pay off my balloon payment as part of my installment? Now, it does depend on who's financing your car. Some banks work differently from others, but you can always put in extra payments each month into your car installment. And all that extra payment does is it actually reduces the balance on paper. It's a little tricky because it may show it as a different line item, but ultimately it reduces the amount of interest that you're paying. So if you pay an extra, you will end up paying your car off over a shorter period of time. But what you can do, and certainly ABSA allows for this, I know Westbank doesn't, so it does depend who you're with, but you can actually instruct the bank. Perhaps when you've got to, maybe you've been putting in extra and you've got to 10, 15,000 Rand, you can phone the bank and instruct them to allocate that payment towards your balloon payment so that they start to settle that balloon payment ahead of time. Alternatively, if you don't have that option, even though you're paying an extra, remember you're going to be paying off the principal debt sooner. So maybe you pay it off a year earlier. Well, then for the remaining of those, another 12 months that you have left on those installments, that would actually be paying off your balloon payment. So paying an extra every month absolutely works. The key is that the car is fully paid by the date of the installment agreement. Because what normally happens if you haven't been putting in extra at the end of that period, say 5 years, you would have this lump sum, this 100,000 odd balloon payment due. But if you've paid your car off a year earlier, say in 4 years, then you still have another year of installments that you're able to continue contributing, which can now go towards the balloon payment. So it does depend on how the bank views it, but I would definitely pick up the phone and chat to the bank. You could even ask the bank to redo the finance contract. So for anybody else who has a question, please remember, subscribe to the My On Money newsletter in the link below and send me your questions.